concepts, the examples, that is very important.
Yes.
Language is okay. I mean, it's okay. We can manage to understand.
Yeah. Slides are in English, and the explanation we can follow because the feelings. The feelings expression is being transferred, so we can understand.
Yeah. In fact, I think the feelings can be better expressed in Hindi.
I also feel.
Is what I feel.
Yes.
What I feel. It's really nice. It's going on so well.
Yeah.
I think, Bhaiya, do we want to begin?
Yeah, it is time, so we can start. The participants are just joining, so we will just start.
I think we will. I think it's better to start because then otherwise you'll run short of time.
Okay.
Yeah. And students, they will all join. Students and faculty will join slowly.
Right.
So welcome to you, Sanil Bhaiya, and look forward to a very interesting session again today.
Yeah.
And thank you to all my co-panelists and my great mentors. Thank you for being here. Welcome to all the students and the faculty. Looking forward to more joining, and let's take it further. So Silvia, you can take it, start it.
Okay, Didi. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I will share my screen from my end.
Today, Priya Didi is busy with something, so we will not wait for her today.
Okay. So my screen is visible and voice is audible.
Yes, it's visible also, and you're very much audible also.
Okay, thank you very much.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So, dear co-explorers, we have been discussing with regard to the feelings in a relationship in the last few meetings. We continue with that today also. And this follow-up meeting is essentially for the students. So we would like to have students interacting with us, interacting with everyone, other co-explorers in the meeting. The questions of students are most welcome. Of course, there are faculty members also participating. So everyone can participate like equal. But since Wednesday is the Wednesday as well as Friday are the only sessions for students, we all expect the students to interact and participate more in such meetings. Your questions are most welcome. That is just like an introduction. I can just tell like that. So it's a family meeting, family get-together, which happens every week on Wednesdays from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Everyone can participate without any kind of differences, any difference of age or gender or whether, like you being a faculty member or student like that. Let us explore together, right? All right. So we have been discussing with regard to gratitude and love in the last meeting. So what we have verified with the previous day's meeting is gratitude is feeling for those who have made effort in terms of providing help in the process of my development, as you can see over here. Excellence. So this has been discussed in detail in the previous Wednesday as well as the Wednesday before that. So I can see that the other has a feeling of care, affection, trust, etc. in behavior with me. I can also see that the other has helped me in developing right understanding and right feeling in me and has provided me with the necessary physical facility. So gratitude is significant in the development of relationship. So that we have also verified that there are several people who are in line in providing us the right understanding, right feeling, and physical facility. So we have to offer gratitude to a lot of those people who are behind the curtain. That is what we have been discussing in the previous day's meeting. And this has been given as an exercise to all of you in the last day's meeting. I hope many of you would have done this exercise also. Make a list of needs and who are the people who are behind fulfilling those needs. Let them be physical needs, let them be other kinds of needs. So we have done that, and we have verified that there are plenty of people whom we do not know who are actually helping us in developing our right understanding, right feeling, and of course physical facility. Though the exercise given here is only for physical facility, we can also see that there are persons like our teachers, mentors, and many others who are behind the curtain, whom we could not see. They are there as instrumental to develop right understanding as well as right feeling in us. Yeah, that is a point which we discussed in the last meeting. Yeah, so we now we can see that we are anywhere related to the environment, human being, as well as the rest of nature, and dependent upon them to fulfill our basic needs of knowledge, right feelings, and physical facilities. So this was the slide where we stopped in the last meeting, I suppose so. So are we mostly focused on what has not been done or what has been done? Right. This is a question which we ask usually to ourselves. We have to ask this to ourselves to see whether we appreciate what has been done in general in against what has not been done. 100 things would have been done by somebody, maybe our friend or somebody else very close to us. But when he or she does something, as far as we are concerned, something wrong, let's say, then suddenly the feeling changes to kind of opposition. Does it happen with you? This has been discussed in the previous day's meeting. So there were plenty of observations by many of the participants in this direction. Do we have a feeling of gratitude for the other? Is it continuous, or is the feeling of gratitude comes and goes? So we feel like gratitude for somebody who did something very good for us, and maybe on the other day, maybe after some time, let something which is not favorable to us has happened from the same person, then do we lose that kind of a feeling? That is the question. So this has also been explored in the previous day's meeting. Are you making effort for ensuring the right feelings in yourself and expressing them to the other, or are you expecting these feelings from the other? Are we looking outside for our own happiness? That is the question here. Are we looking outside for harmony, for our own harmony, or do we need to look inside to our own feeling of, say, happiness? So these are the things which we have discussed in brief in the last day's meeting. Now we go further from here. So yeah, as a continuation of the discussion of the previous slide, we can see this. If you are mostly focused on what has not been done, yeah, this is usually the case, right? What has not been done, even after hundreds of things are being done, we usually focus on what has not been done. Then what we need to do as a proposal, we need to broaden our vision to see the entire reality and to evaluate both what has been done and what has not been done. Right. What do you say? You need to broaden your vision to see the entire reality. That is, when you evaluate the person rightly, then we are not expected to evaluate the person based on a certain event, a certain interaction with us, but we shall evaluate the person with regard to in totality, with regard to his behavior, and then we can come to a conclusion with regard to right evaluation of the person. So something would not have been done, maybe because of his own lack of competence. So we shall try to understand that, and so the evaluation should be based on, maybe that has to be based on what has been done as well as what has not been done. We usually say the example of phone calls, right? When we ring up somebody, maybe at the other end, the phone would not be picked up. So we go into certain thought process. What is happening over there? Why, when I am calling him or her, why he or she is not picking up the phone? What is happening over there? Kind of thoughts would have been going on. Then what we do is we ring up again. Second time also, when the phone is not picked up, we go into several other kinds of thoughts. Right. So a kind of an opposition may be introduced in us in such a case. And again, when a third time or fourth time or after some time when we call, even when the phone is not picked up, we fall into kind of an opposition. Right? This happens to you or what? Verify. You can just think of this and verify this. But we do not know what is happening on the other side. But in the past, maybe hundreds of times he or she would have picked up the phone and would have conversed with us. But suddenly at one day when this is not happening, we think of the other way. So what is proposed here is we have to realize, rightly understand, rightly evaluate what is happening with the other person, whether the other person is in good health, whether he has some other activity at that time when the phone was ringing, or whether he was away from the phone, things like that. So only after right evaluation, we can come to a conclusion with regard to his behavior. That is what is proposed over here. And when the feeling of gratitude comes and goes, that is the second point which we discussed with the previous slide. If the feeling of gratitude comes and goes, we also have discussed this in the previous day's meeting. So when the feeling of gratitude comes and goes, then if the other has shared the right understanding, right feeling, as well as physical facility, and you are not able to see that, then you need to pay more attention on your own understanding and your own feeling. That is very important, right? Whenever we go into opposition, we fall into, I would say, forced into a feeling of opposition with the other, then we will, we have to actually think of ourselves, what is happening within us. Is the other person going to bring us kind of happiness? Is the other person going to bring us harmony? Because of the other person, our feeling is getting disturbed. We can think of this. Or is it happening? Is the disturbance happening within me because of my own lack of understanding or lack of feeling? So we have to actually look within, and then we have to correct ourselves, and then the external influences, external agencies, or the other person may not influence the right understanding or right feeling in us. So we are unperturbed with the feeling of with what is happening from outside, and the harmony can be instilled within us automatically. That is what is being discussed over here. If the feeling of gratitude comes and goes, so gratitude, the feeling of which is there with some other person, that has to be continuous. That is what is being discussed over here. If the other has primarily shared physical facility and is expecting gratitude and continuity, then that expectation may not be fulfilled, right? So there is an over expectation. So these are the proposals given as kind of an evaluation, or as proposals with regard to the questions given in the previous slide. So that is why I'm just going through the proposals a bit quicker, and then we will go into discussion. So one more thing is there was a third question, expecting these feelings from the other, right? So if you are expecting these feelings from the other, then you need to make effort to ensure right understanding and right feeling in yourself. That is what we were discussing about. So we have to look into ourselves and see what is happening within us, right? Before looking into the other person, before looking into the external agency, let us look into ourselves and see whether what is happening within us is right or not. Are we in harmony because of our own feelings, or because of the feeling from outside? Then you would be able to live with responsibility with the other. Even if the other is, if we may be having a feeling that the other is trying to disturb you, that kind of a feeling will not be there once we instill the feeling of right understanding and right feeling within us. That is what is being discussed. So now we can have discussion upon this slide. If anyone is having a question, you can raise your hand, especially the students say we wish the students to talk. I can see Nandana K is given the mic. Nandana ji, do you have a question? Mar Basilius College. Mic has been given to you. Or any other student. if he or she is having a question or any observation, not even question, any observation, any sharing, which is matching with or other which is following, which is from this particular content of the universal human values, you can place it over here. You're welcome. I can see plenty of students as well as faculty members in the attendees list. So if any of the students would like to place your sharing, you are most welcome. This is what is being discussed is something which happens with students. But yeah,
we can. Yeah. Sorry. Bhaiya, we can unmute Ishrat and Neetuji, and maybe they can share if they wish to.
Yeah, they can unmute with themselves because mic is given to all of them. Yeah. Ishrat has
unmuted. Please Ishratji, please go ahead.
Please go ahead. Yeah, namaste, Bhaiya. Actually, I have been missing the program in between because of the other obligations. But I thought this UHV program is an excellent one to realize self-reflection and understand self-evaluation. And with respect to it, when it comes if the feeling of gratitude comes and goes, that creates a confusion within ourselves when we want to have self-reflection. Because, for example, if I take the current situation itself, I'm interested to do the things, but because as we are also faculty, we are having other engagements and we are having that obligation to fulfill the others' wishes. In that process, we cannot fulfill ours. So how will it justify this feeling of gratitude?
Yeah.
Am I clear?
Yeah, very clear, very clear. Ishratji, fulfilling the wish of others means what? You do something for them? Do you have a feeling that you are doing something for the other?
No, actually, when we are, for example, as I'm employable and I'm working for an institute, the institute is paying me, so I have to be obliging them, right? Yeah, but at the same time, it's like a physical facility, you can say that. But at the same time, the inner feeling of gratitude is there. But at the same time, I want to attend this workshop, do something as volunteering, but that will be a clash of things. So is that I can say that my gratitude is comes and goes off. That's little confusion for me.
Yeah, I can say that since you are being part of the institute, you are getting the opportunity to participate in such kind of workshops, right? That is one of the reasons why, you see, because you are a faculty member of that institute. The institute offers you this opportunity, and this information is also passed maybe by the institute. And because you being a faculty, you are now being included as a participant or a co-explorer in this. So gratitude can be offered to the institute, but of course, as you said, time is a factor. So you may have to share your time with your regular routine academic activities as well as this UHV activities. So we have to find maybe sometimes extra time, or we may have to shrink our activities in our institution to participate in this. Gratitude can be there.
Yeah. Now when we are saying that,
can I add a little, Sanil Bhaiya?
Please, Didi, please add.
What I also would like to add to what Sanil Bhaiya said, Ishratji, is that there are a lot of activities in the UHV for participation, which may not clash with the institute. So maybe, you need to find out that also. If you really want to participate and collaborate, there is something for everyone, irrespective of the timings of the institute or, the house course or whatever. So maybe you need to find out. I mean, there are a lot of other things also.
Yes, Didi. With respect to that only, Didi, it would be best if and elaborate what are the opportunities, because this is not just a learning platform or self-exploration for students, but faculty, senior faculty, junior, irrespective of cadre, age.
Yes, Didi, Ishrat Didi, maybe in the weekly meetings, it can be taken up and that can be discussed. Because what happens today in this session, there is a topic and we are bound by time. So we will not be able to discuss that.
Yes.
But certainly it can be taken over in the weekly meeting so that everybody has a fair understanding of what all ways we can contribute. What are the different ways in which we can contribute? Yeah, Didi? Will that be okay?
Yeah, thank you so much, Didi. Thank you. Thank you so much, Didi.
Thank you, Didi.
Thank you. Thank you. So in fact, there are plenty of volunteering activities. So we will discuss all the, if we want to discuss about that, it may take more time, at least half an hour time. So yeah, as Vila Didi told just now, we can discuss those things in the weekly meetings. That is best. That is the best thing. Nice. So Nandana ji, would you like to place your reflection over here? Mic is given to you. Or Neetu Lucas ji, would you like to place your reflection here? Mic is given to you also. Yeah, Neetu, please go ahead.
I think the same. That is the right evaluation. Right understanding and feeling must be happen within us, and we should be able to make a right evaluation on others so that we can avoid that confusion of gratitude change, and that is gratitude comes and goes. That can be avoided.
With right understanding and right feeling, we can avoid that feeling of gratitude going away, right? So you mean to say that gratitude is there, right, as a feeling. It is not fading away.
Yes, sir.
If you have right understanding and right feeling, that is it, right?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. So what we can do is we go ahead. This is the point where we stopped in the last meeting also. So we go ahead a little bit in the content, and then we have more discussions, I suppose. So we have been discussing about gratitude till now. Now, you can respond to this question in the chat box if you want to be related to none, or if you want to be related to one, many, or everyone. So if your response to this question is say for none, you can put 1 in the chat box. If it is for 1, you can put 2. Many, you can put 3, and everyone, you can put 4. So accordingly, you can place your response in the chat box. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 will be for none, 2 is for 1, 3 for many, and 4 for everyone. All of you can place your response in the chat box. So you can see if your response is in the chat box. Israt G is typing many. That is 3. Ruby G is typing 1. That is to none. Tamil Selvi G is typing 4. That is to everyone. Bhagesri G is typing 3. Ashutosh Bajpayee is typing 4. Nice. So some of us can see that we want to be related to many. Some of us can verify that we want to be related to everyone. Some of us can verify that we want to be related to 1, and so on. So it is depending upon our own self-exploration. Very good. So we see that if we are related to none, then that is a feeling of opposition, right? If you are related to nobody, that is a feeling of opposition. That is a proposal. What do you say? On the other hand, if we feel that we are related to 1 or many, that is a feeling of affection. And when that many tends to everyone, everyone means every unit in the nature as a broad perspective, the feeling of being related to all human beings and all other units in the nature. That is love. That is what we propose. Yeah. Ruby is telling it is 3. Nice, nice. Thank you, Didi. Thank you. So naturally acceptable thing as far as everyone is concerned is we wish to be related to many and everyone. We can see that we are related to many, and that leads to affection, right? When that many can be extended to everyone, that is giving way to the universal value, which is called love. There is a proposal here. So the feeling of being related to all, the complete value is love. There are several notions for what is love among the students also. But what we propose here is the feeling of being related to all. All means all units in the nature, not alone to all human beings, but to all units in the nature. That is what is love. This is something which we see this is a news item which appeared in like 2017 or so. As you can see there, love is a #1 killer in many states of the country. You see, in 4 major states, love becomes #1. When you see the reasons for killing, love stands as #1 in many states. You can see the red bar here represents love as a reason. So is love a killer? When we state the proposal that you are related to, I am related to everyone, is that a source of killing? Well, there is a hand raised, so I can take the question. Bhagyashree Didi. Didi, you will like to place your sharing? Yeah, Didi, please.
Namaste, Bhaiya. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, Didi.
Ji. So, Bhaiya, here when we talk about the word love, so the important thing is that what is the meaning of the love and what we are understanding the meaning of the love.
Exactly.
For example, before we were understanding the respect or the trust or the affection or the gratitude in a different manner. So we were executing and we were responding in that same manner. So similarly, as in the newspaper, they are showing the love. So they are showing the love word is a relation between 1 or 2 person. Maybe it is a male or female. So in such case, they think that they have a relationship with only these 2 persons, means oneself with the other oneself only, that is a man or the female. But they are not thinking that the love is the meaning, or it is mean by the relation with each and every one. So this is the reason they are not understanding the exact meaning, and this is the reason there are a lot of problems creating over there. And as it is shown over there, this is, and the criminal part is going to be increased over there.
Right. So we are coming to that. In fact, this is being discussed in the next slide in detail. So that is why I conserved my discussion in this slide. So in the coming slide, in detail, what is love, what is infatuation, what is the difference between, sensation in love, preconditioning in love, and the right understanding. That is being discussed in detail. So when we come to the next slide, I think we can discuss in detail with regard to this. And there is another question in the chat box also. Please share difference between love and affection. Right. So I mentioned one thing in the previous slide, that if we are related to one or many, we can say that is affection. And if we are related to all, like all the units in the nature, then we can say that is love. Okay, so yeah, when we say that, we say, let us take the example of mother and child. All right, the mother is having affection towards the child. That is something which is very well, which can be verified very well by all of us. Let us take the case of me and my friend. Okay, who is my close friend. So I have an affection towards him or her, and that may lead to care as well as guidance. Right, affection will give way to care of the body of the other, feeling of care, feeling of protecting the body of the other person or my friend, and feeling of giving right understanding or offering right understanding and right feeling in the other person. That is guidance. These two things are actually derivatives of affection. And when somebody is very close to us, when somebody is very closely known to us, let us use that word. When somebody is closely, very closely known to us, we feel like affection to the other person. But to somebody who is not at all known to us, do we feel this kind of a feeling? That is what we have to think over here. Somebody who is not at all, say a stranger, do we have an affection to the stranger? Do we feel like? In fact, the proposal is every person is like us, and we can be related to all the persons. And we can be related to not only the human beings, but also to the entire units in the nature. And that feeling is referred to here as love. But affection is something which we can see with our close relatives. So that may be like a limited group. But when it comes to love, it is to all the persons, all the human beings in the maybe in the world, as well as all the units in the universe. Maybe it is to animals, to the plants, to the birds, everything else. That is what we refer to as love. And love is all-encompassing. It is a universal value. In fact, affection, when we can see affection, and if this affection is extended to everyone, say all the persons or everyone, then we can say that is love. That is to my perception. Didi, you want to add something? Ila Didi?
Ji bhaiya, it's going on fine.
Yeah, so nice. Nice. There is one more hand raised. I can see Amrita Sengupta. Yeah, mic is given to you, Ji. Amrita Ji. You would like to place your sharing here, Amrita Ji. Amrita Sengupta Ji. Okay, so we can hear. Maybe my voice is not reaching her. I suppose so. Right. Okay. So we continue from here a little bit further. So this is the news item, which is love is the #1 killer in many states of the country. So can we say this is love when this love causes killing, love causes ending life? We even recently also we hear about several say news, many such news that love affair kills. So can we refer to that as love? That is what we are discussing here. All right, that is actually not falling into the proposal which is put forward here. That is related to all human beings as well as all units in the nature. Well, if that feeling is there, we never feel like killing, or we never feel like ending something, right? So now you see the proposal is now being unfolded like in this direction. Preconditioning. So excitement. Right. This is what Bhagyasri was mentioning about. Usually, as we have discussed about this pie chart in many cases, especially with regard to our imagination. Our imagination is sourced by 3 major kind of parameters. Imagination in the self. One is preconditioning. Plenty of preconditionings are there. Sensation. So sensation is very important as far as when we refer to love and our natural acceptance. Right. So you can see the natural acceptance, it is actually covering a very small area in the sources for imagination. But preconditioning, it takes the larger area, and sensation takes only, another larger area for sure. Right. So sensation, like lust, getting from the other. This is like we can refer to, say, the kind of feeling when a boy or girl is meeting each other. Let's say we have to verify whether this kind of a feeling is continuous or not. If it is purely based on sensation, like an attraction, and whenever it does not have, whenever, say, one of the persons who are involved in this feel that it is not continuous and it is going to like a breakup, then the feeling of the so-called love gives way to opposition. Do we see this in at least in maybe in our life or in the life of somebody else who is very close to us? Somebody who is very close to us. That may lead to the news item which we saw in the previous page, the previous slide. So then the opposition leads to a very kind of cruel activity if love is misunderstood as a sensation. Only sensation. So you can see the imagination. The imagination, if it is governed by sensation part, the black part over here, then if that is not supported by natural acceptance, then every time, at any time, this kind of a feeling can give way to opposition. That is what I am telling. We can place here plenty of examples. All right. So also the case of preconditioning. So whenever a boy or girl goes into a college or an institution, the question may be, how many girlfriends or boyfriends do you have? And the reputation sometimes of a boy or girl may be also based on that, the number of boyfriends or number of girlfriends he or she is having. That is a precondition. And many times this peer pressure is also playing a major part. Because the senior is telling that, no, if you don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you are nothing. You are not good for studying here. You are not good for continuing in this college. That is also another kind of, say, peer pressure, which falls into preconditioning. Infatuation, right. We can also explore whether you also have come across such a feeling, whether you also have come across these kind of questions, but you can see in the screen, or some other kind of questions which are part of preconditioning and which was interpreted, rather misinterpreted as love. Love at first sight. What does it mean? We can hear such kind of questions maybe in the movies, or maybe in some other stories. But is it continuous? Whenever we say hear about such kind of questions, or explore about such kind of questions, we can verify whether this is continuous or not. So in both the cases, sensation, whether it is governed by, whether the imagination is governed by sensation or preconditioning, continuity of that is not possible. So we go back to our original discussion on happiness and prosperity, that is the basic aspiration. Continuity of happiness and prosperity is the basic aspiration. And we say continuity of happiness is possible through harmony at all the four levels. Individual, that is the primary thing. Then family, society, nature, and existence. So when the imagination is governed by sensation as well as preconditioning, the kind of continuity is not possible. We can verify this with several examples. What do you say? Can you see this? But if the imagination is based on, rather if it is governed by right understanding or natural acceptance, as we see here, this small yellow portion, like yellow piece of cake portion, let's say, that's like a very small piece of cake. You see, now the term love is coming over there. This is love. If the imagination is based on our natural acceptance or our right understanding, then the feeling of being related to all, that is coming over there, responsible towards all, giving to all, that will be in continuity. Irrespective of the behavior of the other, unperturbed in own behavior, and irrespective of what is happening from outside. So if that is a feeling which you have, which we have in ourselves, let us check with everyone. Let us say, I will be checking with mine, what is happening within me. You can check with what is happening within you without looking outside. You can verify whether the feeling, whether our feeling is like this based on right understanding, that is our natural acceptance. And during that, due to that feeling, if we feel like responsible towards everyone, right? Everyone means every human being as well as the rest of the nature, every unit in the nature. That is a continuous feeling. So we all would like to fill this circle, this pie chart with the yellow portion, right? That is an ideal situation. But the journey is a long journey, and we all are part of the long journey. we try to lessen the area covered by preconditioning and sensation. We try to move this yellow portion as far as possible to the entire circle. But that is an ideal state. Of course, we all would like to go towards that. That is our destination. So we are on the journey. All right. So now if anyone is having any question with regard to what is being discussed, we can place it here. Mic is given to many of you. If you have any, yeah, there is one hand raised. Srilata madam. So Srilata madam, mic is given to you also. You can place your query here for sharing. Yeah. G.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to share after going through the concept again and again and again. I'm able to visualize where is my cup of feelings. Now, next task, my task is how to fill that cup with feelings.
Yeah.
Till now, what I'll get, that one only. Now, I'm thinking about my cup of feelings towards the others. So, this is happening very slowly, and that is happening. Definitely, it is happening, but the pace is slow. This is what my reflection. If not on the present topic of love, understanding of the feelings UHV is giving us, the enlightenment the UHV is giving us. This is what my sharing by you.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you very much.
That cup is coming to my imagination.
Nice, Didi. Nice. So all of us are on a journey. So this is in fact a long journey. So we can go together, self-explore, and as well as we can explore together also. Nice, Didi. Nice. Thank you. Amrita Sen Gupta ji.
Yeah. So I actually had a question. So we were talking of affection, where we have a kind of feeling for a few, or a sense of relationship with a few. Now, if we try to relate that affection to our sensation preconditioning and natural acceptance, so how can we relate that to this?
Affection is a feeling which you can see with your close ones immediate close ones. That is what we can verify that, right? Is it governed by preconditioning or sensation largely, or your natural acceptance? What do you say? So
Natural acceptance.
Natural acceptance, right? The preconditioning part and sensation part has very little role. I cannot say no role, but small role, only very small role to play over there. Like a mother and child, or very close friends, or your father and mother. This is affection, right? Our relationship with these people are affection. We can say that is affection. But what is proposed here is love is, if we can see this kind of a feeling with all the human beings in the world, then that is love. In fact, affection tending towards, let's say, if it is like in mathematics, affection tending towards infinity, or to everyone in the entire world, as well as not only human beings but to other units also in the nature. That is what is being proposed.
So is affection like your feeling inside which comes where you want to give the other person, or take care of the other person? So that feeling is what is affection.
It's a feeling from oneself to the other, myself to the other person. It is not taking care. Taking care is, we have seen that care is a different kind of feeling. But this is a feeling of being related and being responsible, as it is say given here in the last sentence, being responsible towards the other. And it is a continuous kind of a feeling. Right. For example, we want to conserve nature. So nature conservation, that if you feel that is our duty, and we also have to play our role in that. Let's say when you have to cut a tree, we have to plant at least say 3 or 4 saplings, so that after some time another 3 or 4 trees will come in place of this one. because it is very essential. We have to cut the tree, but we can play our role to nurture the nature. That is a feeling of love towards nature. But if
So
you
it may not be a two-way process. So it can be a one-way process.
It's a two-way process. You can verify this. So if we offer like show love towards the other units, the other unit is also giving it back to us. For example, nature, as I just told you this right now. If we exploit, on the other hand, suppose if you are going to exploit, if you cut all the trees and make the place like a barren land to say build our home over there, but we do not plant the trees over there, what is going to happen? After some time, the nature is going to play its role back to us automatically. We hear about the kind of landslides or the kinds of effects due to that. Okay, that's only one small example, and you can relate this to human beings also. It's a two-way process. If you if you show responsibility towards another person, let's say who is a stranger, anytime, say this can be, say if the other person is also having a feeling of love towards us, this will reflect upon us also back. So it's not just like a one-way process. It is the entire, if you consider the entire world as a single big family, then every person will be having the responsibility and relatedness to every other person. So that will reflect back upon us in the right sense, right feeling as well as right understanding. Ila Didi, you would like to add something?
I think Sunil Bhaiya, you said it correctly. It's a two-way process, and it will be, you will see the impact of it. So we have to begin with ourselves.
Yeah.
Once we reflect on our own selves and we grow in the feelings of love, it will be reciprocated from the other side also.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Amrita Didi. And,
What just wanted to ask whether Didi is okay with the response that was given. Do you think that if there is somebody who responds with love to you, would you think you will also reciprocate it?
Yeah, so I think this is in the larger, if we observe everything in the larger respect of life, then this is true. So sometimes if somebody comes to us with love, maybe we are responding, but it might not happen that if I am committed to another person, individually we also be feeling that kind of commitment in the same sense. But in the larger avenue, if we think of everything in continuum, then definitely what we are thinking in terms of having that kind of responsibility towards the other definitely comes back in many other ways. I don't know. That is the kind of thought process.
Yes, Amrita ji, what you are self-reflecting is probably the same thing that we are all saying. That it may not happen at the same time, but it will happen at some point of time. The reciprocation to love will happen. It will not happen at the same time because it will ultimately depend upon how we have our right understanding at that time. So once we develop the right understanding, and if that grows amongst people around us, then naturally sometimes we are reciprocating with love. Sometimes the other person is reciprocating it. Is interacting with us with a feeling of love, but we may not be responding. So the same applies to each other. But when everyone grows with the right understanding, then the point that you made, it will be reciprocated by each other, by everyone. So anyway, you can still self-explore this. I think you are already working on it, and probably, you will develop.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Ila Didi. Thank you, Amrita Didi. There was another hand raised, but now I cannot see this. But I can see a question in the chat box. Israt Misraji, you.
Bhaiya, actually I have a small clarification, because when we say we are responsible towards others, or when we are responding in a better way. Usually in this age, in the students, we see that if somebody is helping or being good, the other side, it's because it's for the everyone nature, we have to be good. So that is what is love all about. But the other person may take it as a sensation. And I think this is where the problem of all crime or something is coming into picture. Especially, how do we draw this line between the love that we express, and from the other side, it should not be a lust, but they should understand that this is a love towards the nature, or it's a natural thing. So how do we draw this thin line? Because it's a thin line between the love or responsible towards others is taken from the other side. It leads to infatuation and lust. This is mostly observed because in the students, this is what some of the cases we deal it. So how do we draw a line between all this?
Very good question, Israt Didi. In fact, first of all, let us work with ourselves. Okay, that is, let us think of our own feeling, whether our feeling of love, is it based on preconditioning, sensation, or natural acceptance? If we can verify that it is based on natural acceptance, then we can draw the attention of the other also to this natural acceptance. Well, when we improve our competence by seeing things through our natural acceptance, which is acceptable to everyone, then we can draw the attention of the other person also towards this, so that he or she also can see things based on their natural acceptance. Then the influence of preconditioning and sensation will be lessened in such a case. Well, it will be there because we are human beings. To see everything through our natural acceptance alone will take much more time. If it is taking more time for us, then for the students, it will take much more time. But it is a responsibility as it is given here. Once we can see through ourselves, that we see things through our natural acceptance alone, then it is our responsibility to help improving the competence of the other, and to refer to the natural acceptance of the other person, refer their attention to the natural acceptance. That is what I can say broadly, right? But specific cases we can take specifically in that sense. So I have several, say, at least a few examples in my mind also when I speak regarding this. So just we need to, I cannot say it is just like a counseling kind of thing, but when the other person sees that, when we talk to them, when we converse with them, that we are seeing things based on our natural acceptance itself, they also will automatically come to that kind of a state. Maybe it may take some time for sure.
Yeah, thank you, Bhaiya.
Yeah, thank you. Ila Didi, would you like to add something?
No, Bhaiya, you can. No, Bhaiya, you please go ahead. It's fine.
Thank you. Yeah. So once these feelings like trust, respect, affection, care, guidance, etc., are ensured within, then the feeling of being related to all follows naturally, right? Yeah, there is another question in the chat box by Ruby Didi. How will you evaluate yourself? Well, that is what we are doing, Ruby Didi, evaluation of ourselves. That is, the process is called self-exploration, right? We can verify what is happening within us at this point of time. If you sit down and think of, say, ourselves alone, what is happening within us? What kind of feelings are happening within us? And if you can write down those feelings on a piece of paper, and then if you can classify those feelings based on whether it is based on my preconditioning or sensation or natural acceptance, as we discussed over here, then truly, if we do such an evaluation, let's say every day, can be every day morning or every day, whenever you get some time, let's say if you can sit down just like that for 10 minutes and do this kind of self-evaluation. Then after, let's say, a short period of time, let's say 1 week or 2 weeks, we will be able to evaluate ourselves. We can find out where we are, what is our current status, And then we can see our destination also. Our destination is, in fact, bringing this entire circle into yellow. So we can slowly move towards that. Influence of preconditioning and sensation could be reduced through our right evaluation. So this is something which we can experience by ourselves. Ruby Didi, is that fine for the time being? We have a few minutes left, 3 or 4 minutes, within which if we can try to finish this particular, yeah. Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Ruby Didi. Yeah. So
also to add,
yeah,
if you can go to the previous slide.
Okay.
Also to add this last point, once we have ensured all these feelings of trust, respect, affection, care, guidance within us towards the others, if we are ensured with all these feelings towards others, then of course the feeling of being related will follow naturally. So these are all the steps, these are all the preliminary feelings. So that, you know, as we said, whether we can ensure, how do we ensure? So this is the way we can move ahead to the right understanding.
Right, Didi. Thank you. Thank you. So we go ahead a little bit further. So we say that love is a feeling of being related to all. That is a complete value. The feeling of love is the foundation of undivided society. Yeah. So that is what is being discussed. And before we close this meeting, let us take this assignment. We can say this is the assignment number 1, that is 11.1 is for gratitude, and 11.2, I think it is for, yeah, is for love. So make a list of people in your family, in the college, or say in the institution, and in the larger society who are directly and indirectly responsible to fulfill your needs. So this is for gratitude. And 11.2 is what is your feeling for them? What is your interaction with them? What is your contribution in terms of understanding, feeling, and physical visibility to them? So this is a small thing which we can do. Rather, it is actually, though I said it's a small thing, it is going to give us a large, say, experience as well as validation of what is being discussed. Yeah. So if you have any more questions, we can take it. I think we have a couple of minutes left. So we have been discussing with regard to the feelings in relationship in the previous few meetings. We discussed about the feeling of trust, then respect, then care, guidance, gratitude, and now we discussed about reverence also in between. And now we discussed about gratitude as well as love. So there was a hand raised.
But yeah, Irshad had hand raised. Irshad ji.
Ji, if you can raise your hand once again, I can give you the mic. Now the hand is not seen.
I have provided the mic to Irshad ji. Irshad ji, would you like to unmute?
No, that was clarified. Thank you.
Fine. Sorry.
This assignments actually have to be submitted. Didi, it's like we have to do it's an home assignment.
Yeah, you can do it by yourself, and maybe in the next meeting, next Wednesday, we can discuss about this in detail. Before we go to the next topic, we can discuss about this. You can also share your experience, how you felt after doing the assignment.
Yeah,
right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hila Didi, it is almost time, so shall we conclude the meeting?
Yes. Thank you, Sunil Bhaiya, for the wonderful session and interaction with the participants. It was really nice. And thanks to all the panelists who are present, all the students and the faculty who are there. And we hope that we have more interactions in the future sessions to come. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Hila Didi, and thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Namaste.
Namaste, Parikshit Bhaiya.
Namaste.